Well, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is calling for an immediate and sustained ceasefire in Gaza. He spoke in Cairo this morning, and Mr. Blinken said Israel needs to do more to allow humanitarian aid to enter the enclave. Joining me live now is the Sky News US analyst Michael Ware. Michael, so he is hoping for this ceasefire. Is he going to get it anytime soon?
Yeah, look, that's entirely a decision to be made by the Israeli War Cabinet, and we've seen how pretty hardline they are. What's significant, though, is two things. One is tomorrow, America is sponsoring a resolution at the United Nations Security Council that is a bit of a significant reversal on its so far blanket support for Israel. That resolution does call for an immediate and sustained ceasefire and for the provision of humanitarian aid. Now, the Americans have actually exercised their veto power to stop the word ceasefire in previous resolutions. So I think that's some illumination of the frustration of the US government and the Biden administration with the way that the Israelis and their defense force are conducting this war. The second thing is that we just heard this morning press conference with the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken on his sixth tour through the Middle East since the October 7 Hamas attacks. We heard him speak from Egypt, where he met with the Egyptian president and the head of their intelligence ministry. His fundamental message there is that, look, we are getting closer to a deal between Israel and Hamas. The gaps are narrowing, but the gaps are still there. Now, one of those gaps, obviously, is the big question that's been left unanswered since the beginning of this war for the Israelis. What happens the day after? Whilst in the Middle East, the Secretary of State met with leaders of Arab nations to discuss what kind of governance will come into place when this war ends in Gaza. What becomes of Hamas? Who's going to administer it? We know that the Israelis have maintained a hard line, saying that they may intend to militarily occupy Gaza, and they refuse to accept the authority of the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. So, look, this is obviously very fraught.
Yeah.
But he's saying the gap is narrowing, and tomorrow the heads of all the intelligence agencies, from the American CIA to the Israeli Mossad, the Qataris and the Egyptians, these intelligence chiefs are meeting tomorrow in Qatar for further discussion.
Yeah.
So, look, mate, it's inch by inch.